Hi there, can you hear me? Good afternoon. First, short introduction. My name is Ivan Jordanov. I'm a senior engineering manager in VMware by Broadcom, working on SRM, vSphere Replication, various projects and components. I joined VMware 2012, and since then I've been with SRM vSphere Replication. Agenda for today. Short, what's new in data protection portfolio in VMware. Conversion to enhanced vSphere Replication and what enhanced vSphere Replication is. And then I prepared a demo where I will demonstrate you how you can reconfigure all your existing legacy vSphere applications to new enhanced vSphere applications using REST APIs. We have only 25 minutes, so sorry if I am fast. At the end, you have Q&A, maybe out of this area, but I will spend some time if you have any questions. I'm starting with the new VMware Live Recovery combined appliance. VMware Live Recovery is combining all our data protection services, and in the spirit of the new Broadcom era and unification, simplification, we are working to provide one unified data protection appliance that will have all the three services inside VMware Live Site Recovery, former SRM, enhanced vSphere Replication appliance, and vSAN data protection. I'm not going into details about features and combined appliance, we don't have time, but as a prerequisite to upgrade to this combined appliance and to convert from the older appliances, you have to reconfigure all your existing legacy vSphere applications to the new enhanced vSphere applications. And what enhanced vSphere Replication is. This is a re-architecture of our vSphere Replication offering. So in the past, the replication traffic went from source ESX to target HBR, so-called HBR server, host-based replication management server, and then from this server through network file copy, the data was written in the underlying data store of the ESX. There were some performance limitations, and one of the most heavily requested feature for vSphere Replication was we need lower RPO, we need 1 minute RPO. To achieve that, we had to re-architect, to improve the architecture, and now two big changes. The replication traffic now goes from source ESX directly to the target ESX, where we have embedded in the ESX HBR server component. And then directly we write the data in the ESX. And the second one is now we have much flexible auto scale out. There is an embedded connection broker component in the host-based HMS server, and it balances the traffic between the receiving ESX hosts. So you can automatically scale out. In the past, if you wanted to scale out to have to handle more applications, you had to manually configure new receiving appliance up to 10 receiving appliances. And now, actually, before I'm switching to the demo, all the source codes that I'm going to present and even more working samples are available in our public GitHub repository. So we can expect improvements and changes there. Yeah, thank you for have a snapshot of this QR code. We also expose all our REST APIs in PowerCLI. However, there is a slight delay. We ship new REST APIs, and we need some time. Actually, it's a different team in VMware to expose, to implement and to to ship officially the REST APIs in the PowerCLI. But generally, you can expect all the REST APIs, all the functionality in the REST APIs in PowerCLI. And now, I will start a short video recording. Okay, I have to click carefully because I can go in the next slide. This is the UI client for site recovery and vSphere replication. Right now we have one replication configured. This is legacy replication. I will show you how we convert this to enhanced vSphere replication. But before that, it's just a second because I don't see the video running. Okay. Before that, we introduced one new feature to check the connectivity between source ESX host and target ESX host, because now with the traffic going from source ESX directly to the target ESX host, you need to open the connectivity between the hosts. So, for example, if you have 3 hosts at the source side and you want to have 3 hosts at the target side to receive the replication, this means you have to open for every single host at the source connectivity to all 3 hosts at the target. And we implemented one new UI improvement, one new feature called replication mapping, so that you can check the connectivity between the hosts. Now I'm going to click on the enhanced replication mappings. I have 2 sites. Now I click on the source cluster, vSAN data store, and target data store, and we see here that we discovered one cluster pair with 6 hosts, 3 from the source and 2 from the target, which means now I have to see 6 connections open. Okay. I click on that mapping, and here we can check the test result. Here it is. You see between the source and the target we have a good connection, and you can check the latency. You can be surprised by the latency. The latency is important if you want to achieve 2-hour RPO. So now, having the connectivity open between my ESXs, I'm actually starting with the reconfiguration and configuring the replication in enhanced mode. For me, the best documentation for our REST APIs is inside the Open API specification. You can download this specification directly from the vSphere replication appliance. Click on the Explore REST APIs. So we need VR product and version 2. We have these improvements only in version 2 of the API. I'm going to download the Open API specification, and I use a Swagger editor because it has nice color and it's useful. And we are going to go through these steps to configure one replication in enhanced mode. To run the actual APIs, I use Postman. It is useful because I can define variables for the collection, so that I don't have to place all the time various parameters. So I will show you. The first step is to log in the local site. Actually, the first step is to define the base URL for the API as a variable, and then I'm going to log in the local site and gather the session. I need to provide username, password, and use basic authentication for this API call. So once I execute the command, I'm going to copy-paste the session ID and put this session ID as a variable. And this session area will be used for all our operations. Okay, the next step. So all the REST API calls, we will be using API key as an authentication mechanism. We provide as a key XDR session the session ID from the login. The next step will be to get the existing pairings. For that, I need to take pairing ID, vCenter ID of the local site, and vCenter ID of the remote site. So I'm just going to copy paste this information and put it in variables. All right. Yeah, this is the local server ID, and going to paste here as a variable. The next step is to log in the remote site, because in order to configure replication, I need to log in the local and the remote sites. Remote sites, again, the login mechanism using basic authentication. 204 no content is the right response here. So I have the session at the remote site. The next step based on the documentation is to get list of VMs. I want to pause here for a while. It's very important to use suitable for replication VMs only. I've seen many SRs with customers who are automating configuring replications right after provisioning new VMs with different workflows. But when the provisioning VM workflow takes some time, and if you trigger configuring replication before the VM is ready, suitable for replication, you might expect various errors. So again, I really recommend trying configuring only VMs that are suitable for replication using this parameter suitable for replication true. Okay, I see a list of VMs, and from this list I'm going to copy paste the VM ID, VM name, and disk information. Disk information is needed in the replication configuration specification later. Next step is to check the storage, to take the storage policies from the remote vCenter. We need to select a suitable storage policy. So in this sample, I'm going to use vSAN default storage policy. So copy again the ID and put it as a variable. Then the next step, I need remote data store. It could be a standalone data store or data store cluster. So in this sample, in the remote site, this is the list of data stores. I'm going to use data store cluster vSAN with the name vSAN data store. I'm taking the ID of the data store cluster. The next step recommended is to check if the selected data store is compatible to the selected storage policy. It's not mandatory step, but it's good to be executed in advance before you try configuring replication. So I executed the check compliance true. So now finally we are good to go and try configuring a new this VM for a replication. It is replication put API with few new important parameters here. Enhanced replication true. Target replication server must be null, because enhanced replication, it doesn't use target HBR as a receiving server. Oh, sorry, I will go back. I clicked on the wrong place. I don't know how to go there. Just a second. We have a disaster event, so I will recover by triggering a video in the Windows Media Player. Okay, we are somewhere here. Yeah. Another specific for enhanced vSphere replication, it only allows encryption traffic between the hosts. So LWD encryption enabled must be true. And if you try to configure a replication with more than 5 minutes RPO, you need to have VLSR license. Otherwise, you can expect an error, and I will show you what error exactly in a while. And I'm sending the request. You see the task in a running status. You can monitor the task by copying the task ID, or you can monitor the progress from the UI. You see in the user interface configuring. I will take the task ID and check the status through the API. Here I will define a new variable, task ID. Paste the task ID. Retrieve task information using the variable task ID. And we see status success. We have one new VM configured for enhanced replication. And you see replication server, enhanced replication, you can differentiate between legacy and enhanced replications. The next step is to look for all my existing replication and check the ones that are not enhanced and reconfigure them in enhanced mode. For that, we use the standard filtering property enhanced replication, filter value false. With that, you can have a list of replications. And in this example, again, I clicked in the wrong place. Sorry for that. I'm copying the replication ID from the result. This is a legacy replication that I'm going to reconfigure in enhanced mode. We use reconfigure action. Yeah, I'm setting the variable of the replication ID and using post reconfigure. Again, target replication server null, LWD encryption should be true, and enhanced true. Very similar to the configure API. Executed the API, and now after a while we see all the VMs configured in enhanced mode. It takes some time to reconfigure. And the last in my demo, yeah, we have some time. I will show what happens if you configure to 1 minute RPO and you don't have VLSR license. In the user interface, this is not allowed because the slider is disabled for 1 minute if you don't have VLSR license. So you cannot do it through the user interface. However, you can try from the API. So I put 1 minute for the RPO, executed running. So you see the replication is in error state in that case. Let's check the error details. RPO setting is incorrect. I know this is not perfect UX, UI. We will going to improve it in the future releases, but for now, this is there, you can monitor. So you cannot leave the replication in error state, you have to reconfigure. Reconfigure with 5 minutes, again, it's successful. And for the time we have, this is all I have from my demo. Please take this away, and I promise to add this slide. You can join hackathon event if you yeah. I really recommend to try. It's outside the area. Yeah, you can copy the QR code. And that's all I have. Any questions, comments, or you can take offline if you prefer. Thank you.